An 18-year-old tied to a central Wisconsin poaching case is losing his hunting rights. And Johnson pleaded no contest to resisting a conservation warden in Waupaca County. In court today, the judge revoked his hunting and fishing privileges for 2 years, fined him $300, and ordered 80 hours of community service. Johnson was also hit with more than $800 in fines for hunting out of season. Prosecutors say he and co-defendant Landon Fuss cruised rural roads at night, shining and shooting at deer and raccoons, often from a car, and that Fuss admitted firing at a dozen or more deer since the spring of 2025.